Silence is supposed to be peaceful. So why does it feel unbearable? Why, the moment everything goes quiet, does the mind suddenly get louder? Thoughts rush in, old worries, unfinished conversations, a strange sense that something is wrong even when nothing is. If silence makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means the noise has stopped hiding what you've been carrying. We live surrounded by sound, notifications, conversations, background noise. Even when we are alone, something is always playing. And yet, when all of that disappears, when the room goes still, when the phone is face down, when nothing demands your attention, silence doesn't feel empty. It feels crowded. Thoughts rush in, questions you've avoided for years. This is why silence feels loud, not because it contains something new, but because it removes everything that was helping you escape. The mind was never trained for stillness. It was trained for survival. For ancient people, silence often meant danger, a predator, an unknown threat, something unseen. So the mind learned to scan, to anticipate, to prepare, to fill quiet moments with movement. Today, the danger is different, but the mechanism remains. In silence, the mind looks for problems to solve, even when there are none. This is why when anxiety loosens its grip, peace doesn't arrive gently. It feels unfamiliar, suspicious, uncomfortable. Silence removes the noise and the mind panics, not because silence is harmful, but because it is uncharted territory. Ancient thinkers noticed something modern life has forgotten. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the absence of distraction. They didn't fear silence, they feared a life spent never meeting themselves. To sit in silence was not a luxury, it was a discipline. Not to force calm, not to empty the mind, but to observe what rises when nothing interferes. Because what rises in silence is what has been waiting all along. Silence doesn't soothe you immediately because it doesn't numb you. It brings you face to face with unprocessed grief, suppressed exhaustion, desires you postponed, truths you outgrew. Noise keeps these things buried. Silence brings them into the light. This is why many people say, "I can't meditate." What they really mean is, "I don't like what shows up when I stop running." But nothing that appears in silence arrives to punish you. It arrives to be acknowledged. Here is the quiet truth. Silence feels loud before it feels spacious. Peace feels uncomfortable before it feels safe. The discomfort is not failure, it is transition. Just as eyes ache before adjusting to darkness, the mind resists before it learns to rest. If you stay, not forcing calm, not demanding insight, but simply staying, the noise begins to soften. Not because thoughts disappear, but because you stop chasing them. Silence does not ask you to fix your life. It asks you to listen, to notice the tension you carry without realizing, to hear the fatigue beneath your productivity, to sense the self that exists before performance, before expectation, before explanation. And slowly, Almost imperceptibly, silence stops feeling loud. It starts to feel honest. If silence feels overwhelming, don't fill it immediately. Sit with it for a moment longer than you want to. Let it speak in its own time. Because silence is not empty, it is full of what matters.